that's camera turn off number 1. I don't know how many minutes that is so far, so I apologise if I'm already at the sort of 29 minutes that it allows me. So we're on to part 2. Hopefully that will be all the parts there are. Managed to stick that to the top a little bit. Okay, so I have trimmed up that a little bit. It's a bit straighter now. It's lost some of its charm, I think, because it's straight. So let's give this a go. I am so keeping my fingers crossed that this is going to work. So I'm not sure how much you're going to be able to see. This panel I want to go down, across and up, and this panel I'm going to go across, down and across. I may... No, could I? I wonder if that will get through there. I don't know. I really want to sew this, but obviously we've got our big opening. Let's give it a go. Oh, let's not give it a go first, because if the sewing machine goes dodgy on me. Okay, so down, across, right. I'm going to start here. And I am going to try my best to line this up. I'm not going to do a small stitch because it is really playing up, so I'm putting it on about 4.5. Now I might actually not catch that, so I might have to come in a bit. Okay, right, I'll put my needle down, do a couple of back stitches, and let's see how this goes. Well, it's sewing, it's going, so far so good. I had this horrible thing the other day where the needle went in, oh, my glue's in the way, my needle went in and then it just locked. It was really struggling to try and come out. Now I'm going to move my needle. Really struggling to come out. I changed the bobbin, changed the needle, rethreaded the whole machine, and it did sew, but it was sewing really badly. And it was the machine, it wasn't me. Now I'm going to have to move the needle again. I just can't see what I'm doing. Not very well. Might not be the straightest stitching in the world, I'm afraid. So that's that side, and that is that side, and we have our little pocket here. Now what I should have done is sewn that first, because now I can't sew that at all, unless we have 2 front pockets, 2 top pockets. I don't know that I want 2 top pockets. Do I want 2 top pockets? Oh, I don't know. Because I really want that sewn. But I really wanted to have 2. Can I get that through there? This is how not to do it. No, that is definitely not gonna. Maybe I could, if I sew it, let me see if I could, can I get that in there? Right, okay. It's going to be sewn. It's going to be sewn, whether it likes it or not. I'm going to put that needle down, just do a couple of back stitches, and then I'm just going to sew. And I'm hoping I'm going through that card on the other side. It's sewn, not brilliantly. Got a bit of a bubble there. Oh, I can cut that. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So I'm going to go down here, across here, and across there. And I'm sure this is this even more boring than watching me ink? I apologise. And I'm not sure if you can hear me at all while this is going, the sewing machine. It's very hard for me to see a line. I don't actually know where I am in conjunction with that line. The crease in the centre of the book. We've caught that, so that's the important thing. That's what we wanted. Okay, so that's that for now. Yay! It's not too bad. Now Wendy would cut her threads. You know I wouldn't, but Wendy does. So we're cutting our threads. Now we are going to have to pop a little bit in there, I think. No, I don't think we have to at the back. I'm going to have a little tassel or something at the top there. I quite like it. Quite like that. I'm actually even debating whether we should maybe sew a... No. Okay, so we have the book. Book's done. Now I found, and there was another couple of patterns that I really liked, and this one, the little girl's holding a little fox. I had a bit of an issue with my printer. I told you technology does not like me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out and mount them and turn these into little cards to go into our little folder. So I'm going to hope this works. Now I think we might have to make the card slightly bigger, so we might have to have a bit of a border, so we kind of fill our pockets and the card doesn't get lost inside the pocket, if that makes sense. I hope this is not too long. Let me see what we at the moment. Oh, it doesn't tell me, and I didn't look at the time at all. Didn't look at the time. So this is about, this is 160 GSM paper, because I was thinking we don't want to make this too bulky, although we don't want it too flimsy either. It needs to have enough strength to go in and out of that pocket. So I'm going to cut about here, and then I'm going to check that will go in between. I'm just checking that goes in between the stitching, which is fine. And this one, just give it a little border. So we're going to mount that, and then this one I actually want in the front pocket. So I only want a tiny bit off. I only want a tiny bit off here, because I want it to touch the bottom. So it's going to have quite a big border, this one, and I need to make sure it's in between the stitches too. So the one that goes in the side pocket is not going to be such an issue, but the one that goes in the top, if it's too small, it's just going to fall all the way into the hole. Although we're going to put a little thingy on it. Or do we want it sticking out a little bit? Would Wendy have it sticking out a little bit? I'm not sure. I think sometimes she may and sometimes not. Right, now I know Wendy has that awesome Fiskars corner punch. It does several sizes. I'm just gonna use my, I love this, my little X-cut one. It's so much better than that Pants Lot of Money We Are Memory Keepers one. Wendy would ink. Wendy Wood ink. I know it. Okay. I'm not going to do the back because that's going to be too boring for you. I'm just going to do this little sewing pattern. These were a bargain. They were like £2 for the whole bundle of knitting patterns. So they're quite expensive on eBay and Etsy. I've looked before, and I know some of them are not in fantastic condition, which is why I was kind of happy to cut it up. But I don't have to now because I've scanned it. So I will ink the other side, but I'll do that when we're finished. I won't do that while we're on camera. I'm just doing this now because we're going to maybe stick these through the sewing machine. Although Wendy would probably completely double this up. I just didn't really. Yeah, what Wendy would do is she would cut this the same size and sew all the way round. I'm making these a little bit bigger. They're going to be mounted because I want them big enough to go into the pockets. I'm really trying to go quickly because there's still a couple of things that I want to do that Wendy would do. And I'm really concerned we're going to run over into another video. Just need a little bit because we're sewing, so I'm not too worried about having that right at the end. Just line that up. Yeah, knitting pattern, something I've never used before. I just thought that would make a fantastic journal page. Just really cute. It's quite amusing as well to see the haircuts and things. The old retro style. Isn't she cute? Okay, so there's that. Right, let's see if these fit. So this one is going to tuck into there. Maybe I'll have to just do what I need to do without sewing these. And I'm praying. Ah! Oh no! Ah, pants! Pants and double pants. Okay, now, I've seen Wendy do this. Wendy, I've seen you do this. I've seen you trim because it's too small, too big. So I don't feel too bad. I don't feel too bad. It's now not completely sensible, but I'll have to give this another little ink now. I really want to crack on and make this little book as well, but I do want to do this project start to finish on camera. So I think I'm just going to go for it. If guys, if you don't want to watch all the parts, if you want to skip through, feel free. You don't. Oh, I don't need to re-ink that one, do I? Feel free, but I don't want to rush and ruin it. I want to do a nice-ish job on this, as good as I can in this little cramped quarter of mine. Now I think I'm gonna zigzag stitch because I know Wendy does zigzag round tags. Oh, I don't know what I did there. I don't know how to reset this, so I just turn it off and on again, like computers. If I do something wrong, I just turn it on and off again, or off and on again. Right, I'm gonna use a fairly big zigzag stitch. I'm just gonna check you can. Yeah, I know this is not the best view. I know it's not the best view, and I'm sorry if I suddenly am shouting, but I know my machine is quite loud. It's very donkey at the moment. Donk, donk, donk. So I apologise. It really doesn't like sewing things that are too thick at the moment. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I don't really know much about sewing machine needles. This one was a different colour. The needles I've been using so far in the pack were all the same colour. This one is suddenly a different colour because it went wrong. So I've got no idea what that means. I think it must mean something to do with size. I'm sure it's a size thing. And that may mean that's why it doesn't really like thicker. What would you do? Would you use a small needle for thin and a thick needle for thick? Or does it not matter? I don't know. So that's that one. And I'll just quickly go around this one. It's really shaking. I'm sorry that was really loud. I'm just trying to do it quickly so you're not watching nothing really. Oh, there we go, it's done it again. It misses a stitch. I know I'm going really quickly. I don't normally sew this fast. Okay, let's get rid of those. Oops. And get rid of that. Okay, so we've got our 2 tags. Now this one, I know exactly what I would like to do, which is what Wendy would do. I'm going to find another. What colour should we go for? What kind of pattern? Let's have this one. I'm going to make a couple of tabs. Now Wendy, I think, has one of those lovely tab punches, which I don't have. So I'm going to be just using, I'm going to make my tabs, which is how I do. Now what I normally do is I have 1 centimetre hanging over the tag and 1 centimetre hanging over outside the tag. So that's 2 centimetres, doubled 4 centimetres. So 4 centimetres, and I make it 6 centimetres long. And I'll make the second one while I'm here. Now one of these, this one I'm going to have on here words way up, and that one I'm going to have on the other one. Oh no, I don't need a tag. I don't need a tab on that. Ignore that. Okay, so I'm going to fold this in half. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. I might try and zoom you in a little bit now. Sorry if this is making you a little bit seasick, but I'm just moving my camera. There we go. So what I'm going to do is what I should be doing is one at a time, because that's just stupid, isn't it? What a muppet. So nothing fancy, no posh tab punch, but it will be a tab. And I still think they look pretty cool. They probably take a lot longer and more work to actually make. So it's probably worth me grabbing one of those tab punches. I do have some tab dies, they're bow bunny ones. They are actually really difficult to use. They are not very user friendly. There's no line, so you don't know where to cut them in half. Right, so what I do is I glue the whole tab. And this is how I do all of my tabs. I line the edge up with my ruler. I pop the tab underneath where I want to go, and I have the fold lined up to the next centimetre line on my board. So I don't know if you can see, I've got a line here lining up with the edge of my tab, and I've got a line here lining up with the edge of my journaling card. No, the other way round. Ignore me. I line the journaling card up with one of the 1 centimetre lines, and then the tab up with the next 1 centimetre line. So I've got a tab. And do you know what I've done? I've put this on. I've actually cut this wrong. I'm going to take that off before it dries. I told you I'm an idiot. I am a muppet. Right, where's the other bit that I cut and then didn't use? What I need to do is cut this at 6 centimetres. I fold it in half, and I actually do not punch the open end. I punched the closed end. That's why. I was thinking that was too easy. So many of you say you love that I keep the mistakes in, and there's a lot of them. There is a lot of them. I am so sorry. Oh my god. Seriously guys, I'm sorry. I don't really know how that happened. So, rather than have something that looks like this, you have something that looks like that. Now that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? A whole heap more sense. So there's me wasting time. I wonder how many of you are going, no! At least I noticed before the glue dried, because that could have been bad. Okay, I'm sorry, Wendy, you don't make these mistakes. So I'm trying to craft like Wendy, but I'm still unfortunately crafting like me. So again, I've lined that journaling card up with one 1 centimetre line, and the tab up with another 1 centimetre line. And now I can really push that together. So this is what you should have. You should have a little tab edge. Now, I don't like that, so I'm going to cover that up, and I cannot tell you whether this is something that Wendy would do or not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Wendy. This might be a little bit of me. Definitely inking this lace because it's way too white. I just have to cover this up because I'm not happy with that. I was very lucky that I had this piece of scrap lace just sitting there, and hopefully this will still go in my pocket. But there is something I want to do to the tab that I know Wendy would do. It's not quite perfect length, but it's near enough. Near enough. And it just covers up that nasty piece. Now I know we've got a piece on the back here, but there's more text there, so that's not actually as bothering me as much. Cut this. And there's a little bit this side that we need to trim. And a tiny bit of card actually. That doesn't quite sit right. Okay. So here we go. Our back tag will go in there. Now, one of the things Wendy does is puts a hole in here. Don't want too close to the top. So I've just popped a little hole in there. I'm going to get myself a little grommet. I'm going to pop that in. I hope you can still see. Yeah, pop that in. And the other thing I grabbed was a few pieces of sari silk. Now I've got oh, I don't even need to look far, do I? That's perfect. Yeah, I'm going to use the red because it, or should I use the cream? No, I can get rid of that. I'm not even going to open that. This is my last piece of red. So I'm going to use that. So I'm going to thread that through. I'm really sorry, I still feel like I'm really rushing and I don't want to rush. But I don't want to run out of time, and I'm really sure, I know you guys said you didn't mind if it was a two-parter, but I'm sure you don't want a three-parter. Okay. It's just nice, isn't it, to start and finish a project in one go. It's not it's not very supple sari silk, and that's why this bit was left, I think, because it was, I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit. So that's in there. Now this one, I haven't double checked, have I? But hopefully that will go in our pocket now. Yeah. So I would quite like to do a piece of a tab here, but not necessarily, I just want that a bit thicker so the hole goes through it okay. Maybe I just need to put a little something on the back. It's really difficult to put a grommet into something too thin. Where are my scissors? Yeah, it's really difficult to put a grommet in if it's too thin. I don't actually want to make this I'm just going to cut it so it's just going to thicken up that card, but I don't want to cover the stitches. I still want it big enough to put the hole in though. That's fine, I think. It's a bit boring though, isn't it? Do you think? Where is it? Somewhere I have a little... Oh. Okay. This might be just a little bit more attractive. Yeah, that's better. So just cut a little circle out, ink it around the edge. Am I too far away? Maybe got a funny old view. Do this. Make sure that's held down. Probably put a bit too much glue on there. Oh no! This is what happens when you rush and don't take your time. Okay. Let's put the little hole in the middle of that. I need to be square on. Oh. My mum used to say I'm like a bull in a china shop. I don't think